This is the Drone XE mobile dash camera. And as you can see, it's 2K, LTE, has GPS tracking capabilities, and Wi-Fi. So let's open up the box and take a look at the Drone mobile dash camera. So when we open it up, the first thing we see is there's got a manual recording button and a Wi-Fi button. Manual recording is very nice because if you are driving, let's say somebody cuts you off, or maybe you see another car accident, you can hit that button and actually lock the video. Now, what I don't know until I actually start testing and put it in my vehicle is whether or not it's like a lot of other dash cameras where it goes back 10 seconds and then saves about 20 seconds after you've pushed the button, which gives you usually a 30-second video. But I'm sure we'll actually find that out as we go and test the product and install it into my vehicle. Now, this is kind of nifty right here. So see this here, it's got a little slider that allows you to actually slide the lens up and down. And that is kind of nice because a lot of times when you're dealing with other products, for instance, like Viofo, customers or even like detailers, if someone's cleaning your car, they'll accidentally move this and end up putting the finger on the lens, and then it'll actually dirty it up, and then you're not going to get 100%. So it is kind of nice that it does have this little slider feature on the side. Okay, now when we look on the other side here, you're going to see there's this little case, like little slot here, and it actually has the SD card and SIM card. And just so you know, the SIM card cannot be replaced. You do need to use the Drone mobile SIM card. And if you are wondering about the plans, you can actually take a look right on their website on dronemobile.com, I believe, and it actually has the actual, you click on subscription, and it will actually show you the plan options. And there's quite a few different options depending on what you're looking for. Okay. And then don't worry about this. There's an actual little screwdriver in here and little small Torx that actually allow you to just screw this in place. That way it's locked and you don't have to worry about any drivers if it's like a fleet, or maybe you're putting it in your kid's vehicle because you just want to make sure that they're all right. They won't be able to get access to it because the screw will actually hold all of this in place. Now, when we take a look at what's inside the box, they do have this little nifty instruction manual that will actually show you what all the wiring is. So if you are curious what it is, all the information is there in a nice, easy to use instruction manual. And it's got little contents of what's actually in the box. So if we open this up, this is your long wiring harness. So technicians definitely love having long wiring harnesses, that's for sure. But let's take a look here. So this is a little different. It's a little unconventional because when you take a look at like how a Viofo plugs in with like a USB-C, or if we take a look at like a ThinkWare dash camera, they have different connectors than this one here, right? They have a little barrel connector or a USB-C, but look at how many wires there are. There's quite a bit more than your average dash camera. And that's because this isn't your normal everyday dash camera. This one has quite a few different options and capabilities. So this right here will actually plug in right at the top, snaps in, and then it has this little beauty cover that we can actually plug right in just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And just like that. Yeah. So right here, this is actually your rear camera cable. So this actually is where you plug the rear camera in if you're going to be running it, which they did supply a Drone RC1 as well. So I will be testing the Drone RC1. This is a product that we're kind of looking at whether or not we're going to be carrying it because Blackview is very popular in the space. And we want to see how it does compared to the Blackview dash cameras. So we're probably going to be comparing that over the next maybe next month and a half, little while here. And we'll probably have a nice comparison video out soon. Okay, so we have that. That's your rear camera cable. And this here is a brown and white cable. And you're probably wondering, what was this brown and white cable for? Well, believe it or not, this is actually for CAN high and CAN low. And the plan about this is in the future, my understanding is it's not enabled yet. In the future, they're going to have certain features like how much gas do you have left in your vehicle? What are your TPMS sensors at, right? So that you'll be able to log into your app and actually see kind of critical information like that right on there. Nice and easy. Like, oh, you know what? I better fill up the tank of gas before that, right? Or my employee who drives the vehicle, the fuel level's low. Better call them and remind them to fill up the truck before they actually bring it out on site. So lots of little things like that. Keep in mind, not every vehicle is probably going to have full can high, can low. However, I'm sure a lot of the common vehicles, I imagine as they roll out, will have that. And if you know anything about this company, they tend to know a lot about wiring in people's vehicles because that's what they do. They do a lot of like car starters, car alarms, and they have to communicate with CAN bus network on a frequent basis. Now, keep in mind, this is just going to retrieve information, but it should be really cool. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to talk about that a little bit more. Now, when it comes to power cabling, they do have this green wire and a red and black wire. And obviously the red and black go to constant power, right? Constant power and ground, right? Red constant power, black ground, green is ignition. And there is also one other little thing where this will plug in. If you had like a CompuStar alarm, this will supposedly plug right into it. Now, obviously, I don't know a whole lot about that. I used to be involved in that industry for over 20 years of my life, and I knew a lot about it. But if you are looking for more information, or maybe you already have a CompuStar alarm, what I would recommend doing is talk to a car audio shop that specializes in this, or some sort of an automotive shop that specializes directly in CompuStar car starters and alarms. And I would find out specifically what your benefit is. From my understanding, and from kind of what I get the gist of it is let's say your car alarm goes off, it'll wake the dash camera up and it will actually start recording, and then it'll send some, if something is happening, you know, you can retrieve that information. So either ways, I could be wrong, but guess what? I'm going to make sure to tell the CompuStar Momento people that we are making this video. So if you do have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and hopefully they can address and answer them. So we have that out of the way. And as you go deeper into the actual box, you'll be able to see it does have a list of all the stuff that's supposed to be in here. And there is a little like small Torx adapter. And the reason why you have this little small Torx adapter is so that you can put the screw in the side so that nobody can actually take the SIM card or SD card out. Especially if this is being used in like a fleet application. You don't want anyone just ripping any of that information out. You want to make sure to have it locked away. So obviously, if you are, don't lose the little screwdriver. It's always fun to find a Torx that small. And there's 2 screws. So if you do lose one, there is an extra one. So that is nice. And they have a cleaning wipe so you can actually clean the windshield in the spot where you are prior to actually mounting the unit. There is also an extra mounting bracket, so that is nice because I can say honestly, the majority of dash cameras on the market do not offer extra mounting brackets. Usually what they do is they offer extra 3M mounting tape, or 3M tape, right? And then you have to clean it all off and everything again. So to actually have an extra mounting bracket, that is quite nice. And then there's like these little beauty adapters that supposedly you can have different trims. So if you don't like this one, you can put different trim adapters on. But really, I think it's actually just an extra adapter in case. Yeah, I think it's just an extra one of these. Except it's a little bit different. It's a little bit longer. So if you look at the other one here, so this one's a little bit longer. So depending on where you're mounting on the windshield, if you can mount it at the top, that would be beautiful. Or maybe mounting it, say underneath like a housing from rear view mirror. That also might be a very popular place to mount that. Anyways, we also have the rear camera, which I showed you a little bit earlier. This thing is small. So it's very good size. So you don't have to worry about it too much. You know, if you want to take a look, a lot of people always think it's the same size as the front camera, but you can see way smaller than the front camera. Okay, and then we actually have the rear camera cable. And the rear camera cable is actually very thin. And I know a lot of people always worry about running the cable. So you can see it's not thick at all, right? If I took it to like a U3000, for instance, for people who watch the channel and are familiar with it, this is probably at least half the size when we're talking about the size of the cable. And a lot of people worry about running the cable in from front to back on, like, say, a German automobile, just because a lot of times those vehicles are a little bit tighter for running the cables from front to back. So if you guys do have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and install this in my vehicle, and I'm going to be playing with it over the next month and a half, and we'll see how it does. I'm probably going to try and compare it to the Blackview because that seems to be the standard when it comes to cloud. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you are looking to support us, we do operate in Greater Vancouver and Greater Toronto. We do offer on-site dash camera installation. And if you are also looking to support us in another way, we do ship products to the United States and Canada. Check us out, safedrivesolutions.com. Thanks again.